protein burger, protein eyelash curler, protein lip gloss, protein shake, protein frappuccino.
46 grams of protein and it's only 240 calories. This is my go-to meal prep when I'm trying to stay dialed for summer.
For lunch today, we have high protein, low calorie mac and cheese. There's 113 grams of protein in this whole recipe.
High-protein diets are often promoted as a solution for weight loss and better metabolic health. But at the same time, we're seeing more and more products labeled as high protein being marketed everywhere. This raises an important question. Do high-protein diets actually support obesity management? And do these marketed products provide the same benefits that whole protein foods can? First, let's look at why this topic even matters. According to the CDC, about 42% of US adults are considered obese. This is important because obesity increases the risk of serious health issues like heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. When we look at this map, we can see that obesity rates are already high across many states, even in younger adults, highlighting how widespread the issue is and why people are constantly looking for effective weight loss strategies. When looking at the older age groups, the rates are even higher. This is likely because obesity develops over time. As people age, factors like slower metabolism, decreased physical activity, and long-term dietary habits can all contribute to weight gain. The more we age, the less muscle mass we have, which lowers overall energy consumption and makes it easier to gain fat. So what exactly is a high-protein diet? The recommended daily intake of protein is about 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. But high-protein diets go beyond that, usually consisting of around 1 gram per 2.76 pounds. This diet style is often used to promote fat loss, improve body composition, and support metabolism. Why protein specifically? Protein has a higher thermic effect of food, meaning your body actually burns more calories digesting it compared to carbs or fats. Second, protein helps you feel fuller for a longer period of time by hunger hormones. To understand high protein diets better, let's look into some studies. In a study by Lady and other researchers in 2007, women were placed in a calorie deficit and divided into two groups, one with normal protein intake and one with a higher protein intake. They measured different variables like their fullness and body composition. Their study found that both groups lost weight in the end, but the high protein group felt significantly fuller and preserved more lean muscle mass. This is important because maintaining muscle helps support long-term metabolism. Another study by Chen in 2012 did research on obese rats. They divided them into two groups, one with a normal diet and one with a high protein diet, while keeping the amount of food intake the same. What they found was the high protein group gained less weight and had lower insulin levels compared to the normal protein group, suggesting that protein may help improve how the body regulates energy and metabolism, and not just reduce caloric intake. Even though both groups consumed the same number of calories, the high protein group had a lower body fat and reduced appetite. When we look at this figure, it breaks the results into three main categories: body weight, fat mass, and lean body mass. In sections A and B, we can see that both the normal protein and high protein groups lost a similar amount of weight and fat. At first glance, it might not seem like protein does make a huge difference. But the key difference shows up in section C, which looks at lean body mass. Basically, protein does make a huge difference. But the key difference shows up in section C, which looks at lean body mass, basically muscle. The normal protein group lost a greater amount of lean mass, while the high protein group was able to preserve more of it. This is important because losing muscle during weight loss can actually slow down your metabolism, making it harder to maintain weight loss over time. Preserving muscle keeps your metabolic rate higher, which supports long-term weight management. What's the catch? One big issue is that protein foods are not the same as protein products. Just because something is labeled high protein doesn't mean it's actually healthy. Many products only need about 20% of the daily value to make that claim, which doesn't reflect overall nutritional quality. So are all these high protein products we see on social media actually worth it? Things like protein bars, cereals, and desserts are heavily marketed for weight loss, and while they can provide protein, many of them are still highly processed and include many added sugars and extra calories. When we compare this to research we looked at, most of the benefits came from whole or minimally processed protein sources, not these types of products. So while they can be convenient and fine in moderation, they don't always provide the same metabolic benefits. So what should you actually do? First, focus on whole protein sources like chicken, eggs, fish, beans, or dairy. Second, don't blindly trust labels labeled high protein. That doesn't automatically mean healthy. Lastly, remember that balance matters. Protein is important, but overall diet and lifestyle are what really drives weight loss. High protein diets can support weight loss and metabolic health, but the source of that protein matters just as much as the amount.